What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's me again. And it's your favorite blind film critic, probably the only blind film critic in your subscription list. And if you're just getting to me, subscribe immediately. Immediately. That was a terrible Arnold impersonation. That's what I do. But this is, I'm gonna do The Boys, season 3, episode 2. So my rules about doing TV reviews is I try to avoid spoilers for the current episode I'm talking about, but I consider all previous episodes to be fair game. So if you don't want to know what's happening in episode 2 or episode 1, then wait. But if you know what happened in episode 1, we'll talk about it, and then I'll talk a little bit about setup episode 2 for you. So, so episode 1, we found out that Stormfront is still kicking, and Homelander is still weirdly attracted to her, even though she's, like, wheezing and on death's door. Like, I don't know how she's able to communicate, too, which was, like, amazing. I mean, like, she's like... and I'm like, how are you talking? But she's being kept in some facility somewhere, barely alive. And Homefront's trying to get jacked off by her. It's this show, right? And we had that, oh my God, the termite scene. Will go down in history. But yeah, so we pick up in this episode, we just found out that, well, of course we knew it, but our head exploder, she needs a superhero name, because I can't remember what a character name is, is the one that's also running this agency that's supposed to monitor superheroes. So, she makes that guy explode at the end of episode 1, and she gets the cleanup crew, and anyway, so that happens, and that plot sort of continues, and they're looking more for Soldier Boy in this thing and trying to unravel the mystery of Soldier Boy. I'm still sort of waiting for this big Jensen Ackles reveal, because, I mean, they talked a lot about it, so I don't know. I think he's in this a little bit because there's some footage that's shown of Soldier Boy at this one thing. So you might actually see Jensen Ackles in this if you can see. But they're kind of going through the members of Soldier Boy's ex-squad. One of them is this total nut job who just reminds me of everything wrong with this country right now. They even gave him like a crazy name too. It was great. I was like, well, this guy's definitely a political statement. There goes some of the Boys audience right now, as they feel like the Boys is making fun of them. Yeah, if you related with that character, you probably immediately were like, oh, I can't believe I'm gonna be turning the Boys off now. The Boys is getting political. Yeah, so not trying to work my way around spoilers is a little difficult. They go to a place where they have superhero kids available for adoption. That's a fun place to go. There's a Vought theme park. Homelander's birthday is in this episode. A-Train has a very bizarre idea for how to get himself liked again by the public. And I loved Ashley's response to that. That was great. So those are kind of the major beats in the episode. Looks like Milk might get into the action. He's having a hard time containing his rage, and his family's starting to realize he needs an outlet for his rage. Like, it's nice that he's like retired to try to be there for his kid, but he's still got anger management problems, and he needs to be able to beat up some superheroes or something, I guess. I don't know. I think that's really all I can say without spoiling. But I thought the episode was really good. It I I the first one just blew me away in such like a very just jaw-dropping beginning. That termite scene just was so unexpected, even for the boys, that I don't know where to go from there. But the second episode has a lot working for it plot wise. Like it's really starting to set up the story for the rest of the season. So I liked it from that standpoint, and to see the characters and to see the dynamic between characters changing, to see Starlight standing up to Homelander more now that she's co-captain, and actually reminding him of that and being like, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't have to listen to you because I'm co-captain. So we're on even playing ground. and Homelander is, I think, slowly losing his mind because the world is not what he thought it was going to be. And I don't know if he's the main villain this season. I don't know where we're going to go with that. I feel like Homelander is the main villain of every season. We just never like fully address it. But because I think ultimately I think the show ends with Homelander. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is the series villain. He is the long haul villain. Like, when The Boys ends is when Homelander ends, is what I feel like the show is going for. So he's not going to be somebody who taps out early. There's always going to be somebody else who's like, oh, for this season, we're going to do this. But in the long haul, it's always everybody versus Homelander. So, but he's up to his old ways again. Anyway, I thought this was another great episode. The audio description, again, I mean, there's so much gore in this episode to describe, just like there is in like every Boys episode. I love the guy that was in the costume and it let us know that his head was still there, even though his body wasn't. Like, I was trying to picture it. I was like, how is his head still if he doesn't have, how was the costume built? It's just, it really left me kind of thinking about life. I was like, what is that? I don't understand. Like, what happened? That's not a spoiler because you wouldn't understand where it was, in the thing, but, the Deep is barely in this episode. I will say that, if for any Deep fans. I actually didn't catch Black Noir. I'm not gonna say he's not in the episode for visual people. He might have like walked around in the background, but he didn't do anything. That's it. That's the Boys. I'm glad we're back. The Boys are back in town. I sang that at the beginning of my last review. Anyway, I'm gonna keep it short. Yeah. If you like The Boys, if you like seeing people explode, then you'll like this episode. If you don't like seeing people explode, I don't know how you're in season 3 of The Boys, because that's a recurring thing with this show. Somebody must explode in every episode. You know that. That's like, those are in like the boy rules. So, but I'm going to give The Boys season 3, episode 2 an A. Loving the season so far. Yes, I review the episodes separately. I don't review them as a cluster. So I haven't seen episode 3 yet. I'll get to that, and I'll post a review for that shortly. Let me know what you think about The Boys in the comments. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can check out my website at macthemovieguy.com. You can go to the audio description project to find out what has audio description and where it is, and the ADNA, the ADNA.org, for who narrates what, or if you find a narrator you like, you can see what else they narrate. So, good websites to always go to. All right, see you when I have another episode to describe.